of Yalpelor. We're the questers of Yalpelor. We quest in jungles and emag in all kinds of pawn shops. We're questers. We will adventure and kill, but not at the same time. We're great and we're fun and we're here for a good time. So questers, questers, questers of Yalpelor.
Thank you. Welcome to Questers of Yalpelor. I was thinking we're never gonna have a musical episode at all because every episode of Questers of Yalpelor is a musical episode. So that means we
Which
all...
is to say that
You
Idamar's
think
really
you're
sick
saying-
of it.
Yeah. You think you're
What?
saying something nice, but you just broke my heart.
Given that I just did the singing intro, yeah, mine too a little bit.
What do you mean? No, every episode is a musical episode. It's amazing.
Oh, ego, where art thou?
Can we have a flashbacks episode?
We can have a
We
flashbacks
need to
episode.
do
I
a
think
clip where
we-
it's just every single one of the song intros, because I
We
would like to see
should.
it, because they're all really weird.
I have them all. I mean, they're all saved, so we can make like a master clip of the funniest or the craziest.
Master
or the weirdest one.
Mash.
Yeah, that would be a very good
Yeah,
idea.
see,
to
even
do
Twitch
one
is
day.
like, all of them right now.
That's actually a really
Thank
good
you,
idea.
Twitch.
And we'll intersperse the actual audio problems in the first few episodes that caused them as some of
You'll
the
get the
intros.
echoes. Oh my god, we'll do
Yeah.
the echo playback. It'll be the best,
Exactly.
like, cassette boy
Right,
that ever
exactly.
lived.
All right, Questers of Yalpelor, for those of you who are here for the first time, as are some of the players, is a weekly and online improvised adventure game comedy show. My name is Itamar, I'm your host and game master, and I've gathered 4 hilarious improvisers and actors from all over the world to travel through the lands of Yalpelor with me. With us tonight we have Matt, playing Grubble Bumblin Esquire, a quarterling bubblemancer, desperately seeking to reclaim his family fortune. We have Jada playing Triss, a nebulous summoning who has only recently gained sentience, now gleefully exploring life in Yalpelor with their new friends. We have Talia playing Aklis Darkmoor, a traveling death knight with an ancestral sword and lots of family history. And tonight, joining us as a special guest, going to be with us this week and next week, we have Vincent playing Trieto Odin. I'm probably not pronouncing that exactly right, but we'll see during the episode exactly how you pronounce the name and exactly what kind of character they are.
But that's a spoiler, saying that he's gonna be here next week.
Well, it is somewhat of a spoiler, but I still want the viewers to know what to expect, at least in that kind of resolution of how many episodes he's going to be here.
So they can
It's
tell
true.
their friends,
It's a
oh
little
my
bit.
god, Vincent's in the show, come watch next
And you have one more week, and he's amazing, right? Exactly. So that's kind of like it's in the interest of the show.
No pressure at all.
Exactly. Yeah.
We're all about pressure. Pressure makes diamonds.
And
Oh yeah.
And so Vincent, just like everyone else, is also an improviser and a hilarious person. And he and all the other players and actors here are here not just to play their characters. They are allowed and encouraged to invent and flesh out new details in the game world, play other characters, segue into unexpected scenes, and all in all, make my job as game master more interesting and chaotic than it would otherwise be. You can also influence the game, use your XP to activate commands which will take the game in different directions. You can see the commands if you scroll down below the video and instructions on how to activate them. The game system we're using is called Macchiato Monsters. It's an old school game in the style of D&D that I really enjoy. And we're using assets and creations by all sorts of awesome fans and artists from all over the web. If you're interested in any of the images and sounds you're seeing on stream, you can scroll down below the video and to see the full list of awesome creative people, and you can check their stuff out for yourself. It is now a time for a word from our sponsor.
So I believe this is our first time ever having a real actual sponsor.
What? You mean the rest weren't real?
Wait, but I ordered my calendar months ago. Is that why it never showed?
Did we have
What
a
about my
calendar?
swimsuit?
I don't
Oh, no, the
remember
swimsuit's
either of those
definitely not.
products.
Damn it.
Really?
Wait, then what did I buy?
So I'm gonna post in Twitch chat right now
Do that, yes.
a link to Smiling DM RPG which is a thing that I am doing with my friend Alessio, who is also on Twitch on another channel called Little Mad, or Little Too Mad even. And I'll put that in because otherwise I'll forget.
Sure.
And we've written our very own Dungeons and Dragons adventure called A Murder of Crows, and it's a 2-hour adventure for characters level 1 or 3 or 5 or anything in between, for 4 characters of those levels. And it's in a forest with bandits, and we invented some magical items and stuff, and it is fun. I mean, Murder of Crows is it's not the most original title. It does exist elsewhere around the world, but I would say it's definitely in the top 30 books called A Murder of Crows.
Top 30.
And in the top 2 of
That's
RPG
very
adventures
respectable.
named Murder of Crows.
Very nice. Yeah, I've read through it. I'm gonna run it later in about a few weeks, not very soon, but I've read it in order to do that, and it's really a very cool adventure. It's like a short adventure that you can very easily drop into any adventure that you're already running that's in or around a forest. It's very easy to do that. There's lots of very well written hooks to give your players when they go into this adventure, and some cool homebrew monsters and magical items and stuff. So that's gonna inject some new content into your game, and you can.
I should have just let Idamar promote it.
Yeah, that was
Seriously,
amazing.
also, he's
That was
given
amazing.
you...
I'm
he's given
so
you the
convinced.
best... Absolutely, and he's given you the best new nickname, which is Well-Written Hook.
Yeah, I mean, that was all me. The writing is me. The artwork is the other guy. So
Cool.
it was all compliments to me. I'm loving it.
Nice, cool. Because the other guy. Come on, no. It's Matt. It's Matt that we like. But yeah, it's a cool adventure. Anyway, I really recommend it to anyone who wants like a small thing to drop into a campaign. It's very easy to do that. Thank you very much, Matt. Our first
Tell your
real
friends.
promotion, and hopefully soon enough more of these coming. Yeah, let's go back to what we're actually doing, which is playing a role-playing game. Right, yes, Questers of Yalpelor. The fighting and you go on quests. Yes, I remember. So last time we left Emag, the city, the capital city, on our way to a new quest. The characters joined Drillium, a non-player character, an NPC that they met a while ago, releasing him from a kind of a weird futuristic ship that was crashed in the middle of a forest somewhere. He was rescued by the group and then went back to the city. They found him back in the city and then suggested a direction to go to explore the thing that he's after, answers about where he came from and what he should do about the kind of future that he's trying to prevent.
And he's really hot.
And also, yeah, he is also very handsome, well built man. So now they are with him, and we start this adventure. Already, embarked on a boat, a river boat, that started its journey from Emag, from the capital city.
For the record, there's a man on the boat, Idamar, who's dressed in the penitent robes of one of the former orders, but he's clearly left that order, and he's poling this river boat, and occasionally you're just hearing, "It's my boat, it's my boat, and it was my fight, it was my boat, it's no fear."
Crowd's favorite recurring character. So yeah, he has a long pole. The boat is being it's actually flowing downstream, so it's very easy to just let it just go with the current. And there's some sails and oars to use when it's relevant, when there is some kind of a wind, or if the boat needs to move a little bit faster. And there's people with poles who can drag the boat along. And mainly keep the boat safe by pushing away the sides of the river when the boat gets too close. It's not a very big boat. The crew is just half a dozen people, including a captain, a very impressive woman with lots of lots of scars and like sunburn marks from a lot of time spent on the deck of a boat. Obviously, some fights and excitement that she got into in the past. Now serving in a relatively comfortable post, the captain of a riverboat, going back and forth. You're going to the northeast, which is on the way of the sea. The shores of the sea, which are or the one of the edges of the kingdom of Yalpelor. On the way there, the river passes around a large island, which is no man's land. This island is is where you're going, your destination.
So No Man's Land is inside Yalpelor?
It is inside Yalpelor. That's true. Yeah. No Man's Land, the place where gnomes live. Now, on this boat, there are 3 people, except for you. As one of them, I'm counting Drillium. So Drillium is one of the other 3, except for the three questers that we have on boat. And then there's 2 others who are strangers. You don't know them. So one of them is a man who identifies by the name Avon. Avon is a tall and thin man who's wearing wrappings around his body, like a kind of a sportsman, a wrestler, or a monk, something in between. Somebody who needs to be in stretchy, comfortable clothes at all times. So it's just like a fabric wrapped around the body to create the form of some kind of a cloak around the body, covering most of his body. He has long, straw-colored hair, and he keeps mostly to himself. That's Avon. The other character that you don't know, which you see them around. Let's hear the physical description of that person first. Please, Vincent, tell us what they look like.
So what you can see is a rather tall creature with a very long trench coat that goes way to the ground. And you can see a very young, childish face at the top and a big hat that covers most. And he's looking really not angry, but just very Norse, very like, meh. And he's staring at over the water, and that's the only thing you see. You can also see that the creature is a bit wobbly and having a weird
That's amazing.
monologue as well. It's talking to itself in multiple voices, which may sound a little psychotic.
Right, well, I'm definitely steering clear of that one.
All right, so that's the character. That's I don't know if you were talking to each other or not. We'll see. We'll maybe set up a scene later when some talking's going on. But before you even get to any chance to talk to any of them, you're told to keep to your quarters, which are very small and crowded. You have to pretty much all 4 of you stay in 2 very small rooms. You have to divide into 2 pairs. I don't know who sleeps in the
Wait, but why would we need to? Because
Well-
Grubble and Aklis can be in one with me.
Grubble and Aklis. Oh, I mean,
What
you
about
don't
Trillium?
have to have your own bed. That's
Oh,
true.
Trillium. Oh, right, I forgot Aklis wanted
So
to
who
sleep
gets
with
to?
Trillium.
Who has to share a room with Drillium? is the question.
Right, that's the question.
It's Triss, clearly.
All right, sure.
No,
so,
I was kidding. I was absolutely kidding.
If Triss is
staying
the
with
one who's
Aklis.
curious. Oh no. Okay. Well,
I don't mind.
then I guess I'll share a room with Drillium then.
all right.
Guess.
All right, so Aklis, you have the room mostly for yourself. Triss is by now a permanent fixture wherever you go to sleep. Triss is always there.
I know.
Yeah, so I don't know if you consider them anyone like with you or just there when you go to sleep. But it's a
This
bit
is
more...
very helpful. Triss can pass gauntlets. Triss can give wide-eyed amazement to everything that Aklis does. Triss can tell her Aklis what's happening out of the window.
Okay.
It's water. There's water.
Cool. Nice. We will. So there's only two other people on the boat, which are passengers, which is you and Avon, the tall stranger with the straw-colored hair. So you get a room together with him, and
My question is, how much of the night of Grebel and Drillium do we want to go into now, and how much do we want to leave for fanfic?
I say you can decide into what kind of detail you want to go. So I just wanted to actually have a few words from each room about what the night looks like. Which
Okay.
really, the only thing I wanted is a description of how you just go into bed. That's it. Just how you get ready for sleep. That's all I
How
wanted.
did you get into that
But
bed,
then,
Rebel?
but then you can go into any other detail that you want to. So, Grebel, you go ahead first, please.
So, Drillium, is this? I mean, I don't know much about your future land. Have you ever been on a boat before?
Well, the outside is mostly impossible to live in. So no, never, never on
wow.
a boat.
And also, do people sleep different in the future? Is my other question.
We're living, or rather, will be living in a closed environment with synthetic air. There was always air conditioning, so we were sleeping very comfortably usually. Even when we were indoors just guarding the scientists doing their jobs, we always had our posts. We had to stay up for long hours, and then going to sleep was always very easy.
Oh, right. So have you? Will have a good night.
You too. And he goes to sleep. When he goes to sleep, you see that he's wearing
Nothing.
he's wearing his so you remember that
He's wearing the skin suit.
weapon slash armor that could change shapes and cover different parts of his body.
Yeah.
The skin suit?
He is wearing that, and then when he goes to sleep, he moves something in, like in a sleeve, like a glove or something. It's just part of the same thing that's covering him. That seems like just a bunch of tiny armor plates making us like a stretchy suit, and then the whole suit just shrinks and unravels into a little bracelet on his hand. He does that when he's already mostly covered in the blanket, but it's easy to see that that's the only thing he has on, and then he covers himself up and rolls over and goes to sleep.
Okay.
See, especially if you're Grebel just staring at him.
Well, I
don't
mean,
know. I don't think that's canon.
I think I actually know. I think what Grebel will be a little bit like Triss tonight, in that after Drillium has gone to sleep, he's going to try and have a closer look at the bracelet and just sort of stare at it and not touch it, because he's not going to like steal it or anything. He's not actually Triss, but he will just sit and stare
Triss
really
would
close.
never steal anything that was on someone.
Roll
that's true.
dexterity.
Unattended thing.
Roll dexterity. on that.
Yes.
So just want to like sit really close to him and stare at the bracelet.
Does he get advantage because he's watched Triss do this a lot?
He might get disadvantage if he's learning from Triss. Right. Do you want to use the Kiosometer to try to get some kind of success out of this?
I mean, I think probably not, and
No.
I think probably that just as I was, I mean, this will feed the fan fiction, but just as I was trying to like get closer to have a look at the bracelet, the boatman pushed off a bank, and so the boat jolts, and I fall on him on
Yeah.
the bed.
You do.
Not my boat.
He
Oh, I'm so sorry. I'm so sorry.
he grabs your arm, and the bracelet becomes a glove that is holding you tightly in superhuman strength. Before he notices what's going on, and he looks at you it's like 5 inches away from your face, like he's looking right into your eyes, saying, "Oh, I'm sorry. Did something happen?"
Oh, I was just going out to go out for a walk, and the boat bounced off the bank and I fell onto you. I'm so sorry.
Oh, that's okay. Something.
How does your breath smell so nice?
Something keeping you up?
Oh, well, I was just. No, I just have things to think about.
All right. I know
I'm
how
so
it
sorry
is.
for waking you.
Thoughts about things you left behind. Yeah.
That's right.
He lets go. The glove turns back into the bracelet. It's really like flowing. It turns almost into a kind of a liquid that flows completely off of his hand back and materializes into a bracelet around his wrist.
My eyes sort of flicker back and forth between his face and the liquidy moving back to his arm, and then I just sort of stay there for a second, and I go, "Okay,"
All right.
and I get up. But it's like at least a full second of me just still sort of on top of him before I.
All right.
Sorry. Have a good night. I'll just go for that walk I mentioned.
Let's turn to
go out through the door.
Let's turn to Aklis and Triss. Aklis, tell us please, how do you get ready for bed?
Exactly the same way I always do. I take off my armor and I make sure everything's in perfect condition. All of my equipment, my armor, my helmet, my sword, the scabbard, everything I own. I make sure everything's taken care of, and I have oil for the armor and stuff like that. And then I get into bed and sleep like that, I guess.
Cool, yeah, as Death Knights do. And Triss, how about you?
Well, Triss is going to, after Aklis has polished everything, will still also sort of help and polish, the little bits. Just go over and just use a little bit of themselves to just kind of like polish away the little bits that maybe Aklis missed. Not that Aklis missed much, but Triss is trying to help. And then Triss will sit on the foot of the bed and stare at Aklis, and then we'll stare at the window, and then stare at Aklis. But are the sounds of the riverboat different at night?
Yes,
Because there is a possibility Triss might hear something and get curious.
they definitely are. The sounds of birds are replaced with the sounds of many insects. That's the main difference.
Oh. I think then Triss would probably just keep staring out the window and occasionally muttering, "Oh, a bird. Oh, an insect. Ooh, I think that was a pad. Water."
Cool, nice. So that's perfect. I will now move to Trieto. Tell us, please, how do you get ready for bed?
Is there someone else in my room? Yes, there was, right?
There is, yeah, Avon, the long guy with the wrappings all over his body.
Okay, in that case, I just stand next to the bed and I look at it. And then I look at the bed like, uh-oh. And then I just stand in a corner and I just watch the other guy in hopes that he falls asleep before me.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, he's looking at you, very interested in what you're doing. It kind of seems like you're going to go into bed, but then you stopped, so and you're like just waiting. So he's looking at you, and he's not hiding really the fact that he does. I want you to roll wisdom, please. Now, in this system, you know what your wisdom score is. It's in your character sheet. We don't see it on the screen in this case, but you can roll with the little die icon next to your wisdom score. And when you do, there's 2 dice rolls. You can see both of them turned out as failures because you need to roll equal or under your wisdom score. So you look, and all you get from looking at him is the fact that he's interested in you, and maybe a little bit annoyed, although it's really not clear what about. And when he sees you look back and like studying his behavior, trying to gauge what he's thinking, he seems to get like even more annoyed, and he goes like, and he rolls dramatically, like back, turns to the wall, looks at the wall, and pulls the covers up to cover himself completely.
Okay. So the moment he does that, you can just see me going, oh. And then I just go to the foot end of the bed,
Mm-hmm.
and I just open my arms a little bit to balance myself, and then I just fall back, trench coat and hat and all, and I just sleep on my bed when I fall down.
Okay.
And I fall asleep really quickly,
Mm-hmm.
and I have the loudest snoring you can imagine. And the weird thing is, it's in 3 different tones that you can hear the snoring.
Curious.
Yeah, you definitely hear this, Triss, starting
Ooh,
pretty
if
soon.
I hear that,
Yeah.
especially if it's like quite strange, because Atlas doesn't snore. Grubble sometimes snores.
Mhm.
Yes, he does.
Dirt always snored
Mhm.
horribly, but this is different, and this is exciting. And I think Triss would go under the door and try to find out what it is.
So you go under the door. You slide under the closed door. Cool. There's another. There aren't many cabins in this boat for passengers, and they're all together in one side of the boat. And so the door is right there. You hear the snores very loud and clear behind one of the doors.
Oh, but so the last time that we went to an inn, I feel like either Grubble or Atlas gave me a whole lecture about not entering someone's room without permission.
Probably.
Yeah.
So I guess Triss is just especially
Flashback to Triss going into someone else's room in an inn. Oh!
Hi, my name is Trisisterin. It means 2046. It's nice to meet you. Is that your hair?
What is this hideous creature? Is this a mouse?
No, I'm a summoning. But it's interesting that you say that because I didn't know you had a tail.
At which
How
point
does it work?
Atlas notices what is happening and
Triss, what are you doing exactly?
Oh, well, I heard a
Get
shriek,
this rodent
and then I heard
out
a
of
noise.
my room.
Oh, I'm terribly sorry. I apologize for my colleague. They are not a rodent. Actually, they're a summoning. But you know what? Never mind. Let us get out of your hair.
Oh, but I just had a quick question.
all right. Back to the current scene. Triss is standing in front of the door.
So, if the door to Atlas's room is kind of like across from the other one, I think Triss will still sort of stand guard in front of the stand guard. We'll just hang out in front of the door to Atlas and Triss's room and just stare, just waiting for the door to the other one to open.
All right. Yeah. So it's almost exactly across the hall from your door. So you just need to look almost right across the hall. And this is when you Grubble. You come back from your stroll back to down below deck to the room, and you notice Triss standing there.
Oh. I was going to say,
Hi,
I guess
Grubble. Where were you? Aren't you supposed to be asleep?
usually I would be, but yeah, I just sort of all of a sudden have a lot going on in my head.
Oh.
Lots to think about, you know? Past, present, future, the whole lot. All at once.
That's very complicated.
Are you heading out onto the deck to you know,
No.
watch the
Do you
river?
Do you hear that? Do you hear it?
People snoring?
Listen to the snoring.
Right.
There's two, right? There's 2 people in that room, but listen to the number of snoring.
What?
It's weird and they're different and I want to hear it. It sounds like something I don't know. I've never heard it before and I want to. And it's exciting.
Okay, but remember what happened last time you went into someone's room?
I'm not going in. I'm just waiting. I just want to see who they are.
Well, I get it. I suppose that's all right.
You want to wait with me? Or maybe you could knock on the door. Maybe there's something exciting up on deck and they should look at it.
I mean, you can always ask them questions in the morning.
Oh.
I know you don't know that much about sleep, but I mean, the rest of us need it.
Oh,
And they
Julian's
might be
waiting for
cranky.
you, right?
I don't. What do you mean waiting for me? Did he say something? What are you talking about?
No, no. But, I mean, I guess I kind of always think that Atlas is waiting for me when they go to sleep, and they're just waiting for me to wake them up so they can put on their armor and start the day. So Julian's waiting for you, right?
I'm not gonna wake Drillium up because people like their sleep and they sleep alone in their own beds. Good night, Tris.
Good night.
Boom.
All right. Tris, do you stay there?
Mm-hmm.
All right. How about you roll your wisdom, please?
Oh, gosh. I was not expecting that at all.
Yeah, you get it. Okay.
Nice.
There's a
Not
rattling.
intelligent, but I'm occasionally wise.
There's a rattling. Something moves and rattles a little bit behind the same door where you hear the snores coming out of.
Oh, like someone might be needing help?
Like some object fell and rattled on the floor.
Oh. Like the object needed help?
Well, there's a muffled voice saying something.
Tris isn't gonna go into the room, but Tris might go a little closer to that side of the hallway to hear what they might hear under the door.
All right. A few more seconds pass. Nothing else can be heard except for the deafening snores.
I mean, it wouldn't hurt to just put one little eye through and just take a look.
How exactly?
Well, it's one of Tris's abilities. They can they can become as corporeal or as non-corporeal as they wish.
So,
Once upon a time, you did fit through a keyhole into a box with a
That's
snake
true,
in it.
actually. I mean, you asked that, but I am a summoning kind of made out of smoke. I really don't feel like it would be that big of a deal to go under the door. I've already done it once.
sure. Because it's significant this time, I'm gonna ask you to use one use of your corporeality ability. You become smoky and you flow underneath the.
But I don't want to. I don't. No, not all of me.
No,
I
just a
wanna put
little.
an eye.
Yeah, a little tendril with
Like
an
a
eye,
telescope.
an eye stalk.
Exactly, eye scope.
Yeah.
Nice dog.
Underneath the door. It's a very narrow crack. You have to like kind of become almost completely discorporeal and flow a little bit, and then reform the eye on the other end of the door, and you see. Oh God! You see Avon, the tall blonde guy, standing and holding an object in his hand. This object
see what
is
the
a jar, a thick glass jar that seems to be sealed in a cork with wax that's sealing it. Looking at it and looking for a way to open it. He's holding a little tool in his hand and is just starting to pick at the end of the edge of the wax, trying to pick at the wax and trying to cut around it and open it up.
Hey, that doesn't look like yours.
He curses, he drops the jar again on the floor, which makes exactly the same kind of rattle as it falls down and bounces a couple of times and rolls, which wakes you up, Trieto.
And all you hear is, oops! And then the eye goes right out the door.
Avon is standing there, your jar of antidote is rolling on the floor, and your I don't know exactly where and how you store your equipment, but whatever that container is, it's open, and he's been through it.
Well, the creepy thing is I store everything inside of my trench coat. So, hashtag me too. Why?
Yeah.
Not appreciative that he went inside my trench coat to get my jar of antidote.
Mm-hmm.
Not cool. Not okay.
Cool at all.
No.
but I guess if I wake up from if I didn't wake up, do I really wake up? Because I heard it fall the first time. I didn't wake up. He went inside my trench coat. I didn't wake up.
I feel like, though, the combination of him swearing, me saying, oops, really high-pitched and loudly, and the jar falling,
Yeah.
it's three things. If there's three snores, maybe
This time, it
three
was
of them.
enough to wake you up.
Okay. And so he's standing there, standing up with the jar that he just dropped on the ground.
Yeah, he's not holding the jar anymore. He's holding like a little sharp letter opener or something in his hand.
So I wake up to see someone holding a sharp instrument looking at me in my room.
Yep.
Whilst he just went inside my trench coat.
I mean, we've all been
We've
there.
all been there. Yeah.
Thank
Okay.
God I haven't.
Then I partially, I don't really get out of that because that's a very difficult thing for me to do very elegantly.
Yeah.
I just look at him and I say, what do you think you're doing with my jar of antidote?
I didn't know it was yours. I saw it after it fell and rolled on the floor. You probably lost it. And he bends down to pick it up and hand it over to you.
And when he hands it over to me, the only thing I say is, put it in the trench coat. And I open one button of the trench coat and all he sees is like a darkness behind it where he has to put his hand in. The moment he puts his hand in it, he gets bitten as well.
Gets bitten. Okay. Does that is it like a serious bite? Do you mean?
No, just a little bite.
All right.
Oh my God.
He yelps. He goes like and he pulls his hand back, leaving the jar in the trench coat. And he goes back to bed, gets into bed, pulls the covers up again, and mumbles just when you're trying to help somebody. That's what you get.
And then I just whisper in a very creepy way to him, good night.
He doesn't answer. And he doesn't move or go anywhere the rest of the night. In fact, at some point he does fall asleep again. All right. So that's it. I guess we're done with the night, unless Triss, you have something else you want to do?
Oh, yeah, like, Triss said oops, but then Triss immediately went and woke up Atlas.
Oh, okay.
Okay.
Go ahead.
Well, okay, apologies, but we are the agents of chaos, and normally / important people, and normally when I accidentally come upon things that I'm not supposed to, I have to tell Atlas so that they can either tell me how wrong I am.
Go ahead. Tell them that in play, all that, of course. Yeah, go right ahead.
So Triss slides under the door. Like I see it almost as being like pop their eye out of Trieto's door and just almost oh shoot, what's the terrible movie? I can't remember it.
Oh,
but
what just happened?
I don't know.
I think Vincent's camera's gone off.
Nope, that was my fault.
Oh, he's back.
As I was lifting up my cat, my very angry cat, he clicked on the button that moves the OBS scene to a different one. So it was a different screen. All right.
Anyway, it's like that thing from Risky Business. You just see Triss pop up and then slide right back underneath another doorway,
All
which
right.
is their door. And then Atlas, they're poking at your face.
Yes,
Atlas.
Triss, what's happening?
So I didn't go in to the door. I didn't go inside, but I heard a noise, and then I saw Grebel, and then I heard a noise again, and then I just wanted to check and make sure no one was hurt, and I saw someone who was trying to open someone else's thing, and then he dropped it, and there was a big noise, and I came back. But I think someone might be in trouble.
All right, get Grubble. And I start to pull on my armor.
Okay.
Right?
I'm gonna go after Grebel then. I'm gonna do the same thing. I'm gonna Risky Business slide underneath.
So I
and
don't
try
think
to.
Grebel's had time to go to sleep.
Oh, that's good. So you'll just see Triss kind of slide under the door and then pop back up. Grebel.
Triss.
So I didn't go in the room because we talked, but I heard a noise, and then I
Okay.
needed to check and make sure no one was hurt.
Right.
And so I got an eye, and just a single eye. It wasn't a really big
Okay.
deal. It was just a little eye. And there was a guy. He was trying to steal something, and then I said, "No, you shouldn't." And then he dropped it, and there was swearing, and then he was holding a knife, and I left, and I went and got Atlas, and she said, and Atlas, they told me to come get you, and now I'm here.
It sounds like something we should wake Drillium up for. So if you wake up Drillium, and I'll just watch.
Oh no! I was just told to wake up for Great Bug of Pew. I'm gonna go back to Atlas.
Oh,
You go
but
wake up,
I'm
Julian.
telling you to-
Hi, Julian.
So if Drillium has woken up during this, I want to see the armor coming back on.
He sleeps deep, and it's hard to wake him up. So no, he's still
Okay.
sound asleep.
Unless you fall on him.
Or
Right.
touch him in any other way.
I
Yeah,
mean,
just
having
stare
already
at him
done
too
that
deeply.
once tonight, I don't think Grebel will do it a second time. But I know where to come if I need help from the future. So I come back out the room and I go into the corridor.
Okay, putting on your armor is a good 10 minutes.
Oh, shit.
That's what happens when you get all this fancy new gear.
Mm-hmm.
It's true. Okay, so just helmet and sword, I guess?
All right, sure. Helmet and sword. All the rest. What is covering all the rest of your body?
The chainmail.
What? My,
chainmail.
chainmail and
And, like, the
gamson
padded-
and...
Yeah. All right. So
Yeah.
you're wearing. You
I
are,
wear stuff.
Yeah, you're armored, just not your plate armor. Cool.
Yeah.
Okay, so you are, you're armored. It took 2 minutes. You can walk out of the room. You see Grubble and Triss already there.
Show us the waitress.
It was this room, I think.
Sorry, what?
Right, I guess this time, Triss, I will actually do what you said. And I knock on the door. And I say, hello? Everything all right in there?
All right, yeah. Trioto it's just been about 2 minutes after the end of your conversation, so...
So I get out of bed, but I take a very long time because it's not that easy for me to get out of bed, trench coat and all. And when I just stumble out of bed, I wobble to the door, and then I open the door, and I look through a small crack of the door and I say, "What is it now?"
I just, my friend here says there's a thief?
There is no thief here. Are you accusing me of something?
No, I don't. Triss, is this the one who took the thing?
No, he was standing over him. He was doing the 3 special snores. Very loud. I like it. How do you do that? It's really different and exciting. Could you
So
teach
this is
me how
not
to
the
do...
thief.
No, he was being stolen from.
Oh, sir, have you got all of your things?
I think what she's talking about, or what he or what it is talking about, is a mistake. But what I wonder is, were you in the room?
No.
I'm now looking
how
at
did you
Triss,
see
like
me?
with my arms crossed.
No, I wasn't. It's because I heard a bang. And then I thought, oh, maybe someone's in trouble. And so I just put a little eye underneath. And there he was, standing over, trying to take your bottle. And he had the knife. And I said, that's not yours. And then he dropped it. And then I went away because I didn't go inside
So
the room.
I look over at Aklis and I say, well, at least Triss is learning about possessions and ownership.
Yeah, that's very positive.
Boundaries.
This is
So-
definite progress.
I open the door fully, and I just go much closer to Triss. And I come
So-
real close and I say, "It is very rude to put any kind of body part in someone else's room without asking it first, especially an eye."
I think you were muted as you said that.
Very, very sorry.
Right.
It's okay.
I'm I think we're all very sorry, and have a good night, sir.
What was your name?
My name's Grebel.
What are your other names?
I am Grebel Bumblin.
I'm Atlas Darkmoor.
And you, Cloud?
You're muted.
I'm not muted. I'm just talking very lightly.
Ah,
I'm Trisisterus.
Grebel, Aklis, Tris. I'm Trieto. Trietodin.
Hello.
Sorry again, Mr. Trieto Odin.
It is okay. You can disturb my sleep one time. So if you don't mind, I would really like to go back to bed and have a good night rest. Me and my multiple snoring synchronies.
Very well. Of course, we didn't intend to disturb you.
Okay. Good night.
Good night.
all right.
And Grebel walks straight back to his.
So you close the door. Immediately as you close the door, hands grab you from behind, and one of the hands lands right on your mouth, blocking it. Trieto, that is. I'm talking to you. You're being grabbed and pulled back, and he's blocking your mouth. He's trying to keep you from saying or making any sound. What do you do?
Well, he is blocking my mouth, but you still hear shouting. You still hear help!
That was help? Okay.
Help!
I
We
kick the
can't
door
go
open.
in. We
I
can't
kick
go
the door
in.
open.
He said no. He said no.
Okay, the door. You kick it open. The door opens and bangs against the wall to its side. You see the same small cabin that you have with two beds, with a very small table between them, and a very small window above it to the river bank. And you see the struggle happening. Trieto is being pulled back, and Avon is trying to push him down on the floor and like straddle him and like just keep him down so that he can't move. But he's kind of surprised by the voice still going out saying help. So he's now cursing and saying, "Oh shit! Now I'm gonna have to get rid of all of you."
I'll try to take down. I'll try to grapple. What's his face?
The one on
Avon?
top.
Avon?
Yeah.
Sure. You can grapple him. So this will be a strength roll.
Cool. Oh yeah.
Yeah, you got there. So this is success. That means that you grab him. It's not enough to move him around and do whatever you want with him, and he's still grabbing Trieto. He's not letting go, and you're now like locked in a struggle. He is much more powerful than he looks. He's tall, but he's kind of wispy. He's very thin. Underneath these wrappings, there's obviously a very athletic body. Not easily visible from the outside, but he's struggling. He's resisting you. Grubble, what do you do while this is happening?
Well, I'm behind Triss because I already started walking back to my room.
Mm-hmm.
So I don't know if you wanted Triss to act first.
All right, so Triss, you see this before Grubble does. What do you do?
I mean, Triss has been told not to go into the room. Like very specifically told that they did a bad thing. They're a bad
It
thing,
was very rude.
and
Yeah.
they should not enter the room. But if Triss sees Aklis going into help, I think Triss will pull at Grubble to get Grubble into the room ahead of them, because Triss won't enter the room. Triss has been told very specifically. Triss knows when no is no. But Triss will help Grubble by bringing him in and thus lowering the chaosometer.
Oh, thank you.
Grubble, this picture, this image of Aklis grabbing Avon, grabbing Trieto is revealed to you. What do you do?
I stare at it and my first thought goes to my Sparkmancy, and I'm like, oh, I can't do that. So I'll say to Triss, go wake Trillium. And I'm going to try and, I might try and Blasty breeze? I'm just not sure. Oh, maybe I'll use my I know. I'll put bubbles on my boots. I'll do my small springy bubble boots
Okay, in order to do what?
so that I can bounce off a wall and then use that to push the guy off of the one on the floor.
Can't the jumping boots do that already?
Oh, I guess they can. I don't need to bounce off the wall. I can. Yeah, my boots can do it.
Yep. So what do you do?
I'm gonna try and bounce off the wall and bounce into Avon.
Into Avon. Into the middle person in this struggling
The middle
sandwich.
person in the scrum.
Yeah, so you, go ahead, roll dexterity, and I guess
Yeah.
I was just gonna say, I mean, do we consider this a combat? I think it is combat, which means you don't get advantage
Right, but
from your...
Triss was pulling me forward, which gave me forward
Triss is
momentum.
giving help.
Very true.
That's not enough to be considered help.
Triss gave up their actions so that they could help.
That's true, but that was enough to get Grubble involved in the
Well,
fight. I don't
okay.
think that is considered.
Oh, okay. Then
actually helping.
And
my
I guess
my
that means Triss
acrobatic.
gets to get to Drillium.
Then I will roll on the chaosometer to see if I succeed.
All right, you can definitely do that. So roll a d7 because the chaosometer is on 7 right now. Let's see. I need to take a look at the.
Dun 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 dun. This is always the dramatic moment while Itamar pulls up the chaos sheet.
All right, so you rolled
He
a
deliberately takes his time for dramatic tension.
6. Oh no. Okay, so 6 is splash
no.
damage. You succeed, but you affect
Why
more
did you say,
targets
"Oh, no"?
than you intended. So that means you barrel into all 3 people in the group,
right.
not just Avon. You like a log. You hit them sideways.
Yep.
And you drop all of them in a pile on the floor.
And you just hear from the bottom of the pile, "I've bumbled it!"
Yes.
How are you even strong enough to move me?
You're
Not wearing all of your armor.
That's true.
And in the bottom of this pile, and then that means that I get Triss. You run off, or you slide off to wake Drillium. All right, so you do that very quickly, but that means Aklis, or well, let's let Trieto describe what it looks like when you fall down in a bundle on the floor, and then what you do next.
So, when I fall on the floor in a bundle, you suddenly see that my entire body looks a little bit dislocated. As like feet are going that way, you can see an arm going that way. My head
A
is like
disgusting
this.
creature.
And weirdly enough, you can see one more hand sticking out of the trench coat, and one more leg sticking out on that side of the trench coat. All in different shades of purple, by the way. Haven't mentioned that I'm purple colored.
No, not at all.
And the only thing that you hear me say is, maybe it's time for us to also join the battle.
And what is your action at this point? What do you do?
I say, Gribok, I think it's your turn. And at that moment, when I say that, you can see suddenly the arms, legs, and heads just shrink into each other, and out of the trench coat comes a little purple gnome holding a big magic book.
Oh my god.
Amazing. I love him.
And you use
And
it.
he's going to use his gnome essence random magic.
All right, go ahead.
I think it's a D5.
Right, so to roll a d5, because Roll20 doesn't have it as a preset, of course, you need to actually type it in. Do you know how to roll a custom?
Hashtag roll and then 1D5.
It's slash roll, yeah.
Slash.
Oh no, I did a wrong thing. Okay, wait. 1D1 hashtag roll. And then it's space 1D5.
Yeah.
There we go.
You got it. What is a 3? What does that mean? I don't remember.
And suddenly out of the book comes a lot of color. You can see like a rainbow coming out of the book, and around the creature that was holding me down, suddenly there are a lot of flickering lights, different colors. Like for everyone else, it would be mesmerizing, but for him, it works like very confusing and hypnotic. He's just overwhelmed by color.
All right, and he grunts. He seems to be confused by all these colors. Aklis, you're next. What do you do?
I hit him. No, wait. Dun, dun, dun. Can I? I want to try and. Is he still on the floor?
Yeah, you're all on the floor. He's just starting
Am I still
to pull
grappling
himself.
him?
Sorry, what?
Am I still grappling him?
Oh, I think Grubble kind of made you all into a random pile of limbs, but you're
Okay,
right on
okay.
top of him. Like, you're right there.
Yeah, so I want to use one move to grapple him again and then 3 attacks.
Sure. Go ahead, roll your attack, your strength.
Yeah.
Sure. So it's grappling and then 3 attacks. You manage to grapple him, and then you roll your damage 3 times, which is
3d10.
it's I mean, you attack him with Transformer.
I mean, I shouldn't. Okay, I'll just punch him, I guess.
Just punch him. So it's a 3d4.
3d4.
Yeah.
Okay.
3 4-sided dice for 5 damage, which is
Yeah.
really not enough. He's tough. He's a tough person. Again, tougher than he seems.
Okay,
at
but
first.
I'm holding on. He's still grappled.
Yeah, now he's definitely grappled, and he's not. He's too distracted by the lights to hit you back to retaliate. So you're just holding him now. He can't move. He can't really see clearly. Grubble, it's your turn to act again.
Right, so my legs, at the very least, are underneath both Aklis's legs and Avon's legs. And probably there's a bit of trench coat on me, but who knows what's in there. And I'm...
A lumpy trench coat.
It's just a lumpy trench coat lying on top of me. And I'm like, oh, I bumbled it. And I'm going to try and... So I'm going to try and get a gluey hand. I think I'm going to do a little gluey hand on myself and glue into his hair. If I can reach his hair. Actually, that might be quite high up because I'm quite short. Is he sitting up? What's the ratio of my hand to his hair? I wanna
Yeah,
get glue in his
he's
hair.
definitely a little too high for that. But you can squirrel out of the jumble you're in and
I
like
squirrel
reach
out
up.
and I get
Yeah.
a gluey hand and I glue it. My aim is to glue hand his hair.
Right. Okay. So how do you already have that spell spelled out?
So I have
so to
gluey
speak?
hand. It's 2 HP.
Cool.
We didn't have a knight, did we? So I'm actually a little down. I didn't bring my reagent with me from coming out the room, so I'm just going to have to actually use 2 hit points
Yep.
and roll intelligence.
I mean, I'm pretty sure you had a night that we didn't, or did you cast spells at the last day that we played in?
I cast
in Eden?
spells on the last day.
Okay,
I
cool.
was only down 2 hit points.
All
but-
right, so yeah, you made it. You managed to cast a spell. Your hand becomes sticky, and slightly smelling of honey. And you
That's right.
you stick the hand into his hair. It's long curly blonde hair, and the hand immediately gets tangled. And then you just pull it back, and he's completely restrained. He can't see well. He still has flashes, even though the colors are gone. He's still half blinded. His hair is being held and pulled back, and the rest of his arms, at least, are being held by Aklis. So at this point, he gives up, and he says, "No, all right, let me go."
The old glue in the hair trick. It always works.
No, it worked in school. Yeah, it's gonna
Right.
work in a fight.
Of course, no one wants their hair ruined.
Oh. What's your hair like, Aklis?
Tris, you how do you
You
just
keep on
go?
wondering.
Do you just go into the room, or do you knock on the door first?
Oh, I was given, I slide right under the door and like jump on Drillium's face.
All right. he wakes up.
What a great way to wake up.
Again,
This is,
yeah, he
Which is
lifts
sort of
his
like
hand.
Triss is like kind of pulling on Drillium's hair, like Drillium, they're in trouble. They need help, Drillium.
So he starts turning and lifting his hand like he's gonna knock you away with his elbow. But he understands what you're saying and immediately changes the motion. He sits up, sliding from underneath you. You just flunk down on the mattress behind him. He gets up from the bed, throws the covers away, and then the bracelet starts covering his entire body, forming the interlocking armor again, the smooth armor that.
Do I have enough? I know that he thunks me on the mattress behind him, but would I have enough time to jump onto his shoulder as he runs out?
Of course, exactly as the plates reach the shoulder and cover it, you jump and you land on the smooth surface. And he runs out, and exactly at this point, after like a second after Avon gave up, shows up at the entrance to the room, completely covered again, not head to toe. His head is still visible, but all the rest of his body covered with
neck to foot,
neck to toe. Yeah, exactly. Covered in the smooth armor.
That leaves little to the imagination.
That is, it's not nearly as tight as what you found him in, the tight bodysuit, but it is form-fitting. It does show off his
Hot bod.
pecs. So let's say.
Oh, is he like dirt? Does he have nipples of diamond nipples, pointy nipples?
No.
Are his nipples sharp?
It,
Yeah. Could they cut glass?
I miss dirt and his sharp nipples.
Diamond sharp nipples that shine in the sunlight.
Jesus.
What have I missed?
So much by not watching our show before you guest starred on it, Vincent.
I would say it's the right thing to do, not to watch a second and then come be a guest on the show.
Oh yeah, actually that does sound more fun.
Yeah, and then he understands that you kind of have the situation under control, and he looks at you, Grubble. You're right by the entrance to the room. He looks at you, appreciating. Oh no, you're down in the pile of the.
I'm on the bottom of the pile still.
So no,
holding
he
the
looks
head back.
He looks at all of you, and he nods and he says, "Oh, seems like you managed without me. That's good. I'm happy to see that. I
mean, we have, but please don't take that as an insult.
Oh no, what do you mean? Of course, I was afraid one of you would get hurt.
Mr. Trieto Odin was calling for help.
He looks around. He sees just a little gnome holding a book on the floor and an empty trench coat on the ground. It takes him a good few seconds to put the pieces together in his head, and he says, "Oh, of course it is. All right. So what, you're like on stilts or something? Do you use..."
He's asking that in the middle of battle?
Well,
it seems like you got the situation under control, so yeah, he's asking you that.
I cannot tell you my secret.
Oh.
Maybe after battle, I can give you a hint.
All right. Atlas Avon is still struggling, but you can see that he had the fight knocked out of him. He's disabled. He's not gonna really break free of it.
Cease your struggling.
All right.
It is futile.
Such
All
an
right.
Atlas line.
All right, Trieto, you won. You won, I failed. I didn't really expect you to have hired henchmen here on the boat with you, guarding you, even in the middle of the night. Good job.
We're not henchmen.
And I didn't come into the
What an
room.
insulting term.
Oh, I'm not insulted. I'm actually curious. Is there a reward for helping?
There is a reward if you help me get him.
Oh. Why?
Why? He has a secret, some information that I need. Well, I don't need, but the people who hired me need it.
Who hired you?
Anne.
Oh.
No, man?
Yep, no man.
Please don't help him. The secret that I have is of importance for the world, and if it gets in the wrong hands, for example,
and then the world could be doomed. The people could be doomed.
Trillium, that sounds like you.
Is ring any bells, Trillium?
Trillium, do you have any advice from the future on how to, react in this situation?
After we got all the information we needed, we need to make sure that the one of these two that we decide not to cooperate in is removed, somehow unable to follow us on our way. It's
Right.
that
okay.
is the most important thing.
Well,
Well, I know that you were mad at me because I came in, and I'm sorry that I gave you an eye, but you needed help and we helped you.
For which I am eternally grateful.
Wait. You're not cutting deals with him yet, right?
Well,
We are,
you're
as of yet,
stealing his
undecided.
things.
Right, so he's saying that it's very important to the world and stuff, probably some kind of important knowledge, but I'm offering you real money. It's
what
gonna
kind
be
of real money?
gold. There's gonna be gold in it for you.
Right, and the favor of no man?
I can arrange an introduction.
Right, so do you know no man yourself?
I know no man, yeah, I met no man.
Right, well, Trillium, you needed an introduction with no man.
Oh, it's true, yeah, that could be useful. Alright. Cool, so maybe we could just...
Well, what have you got, Mr. Trietto?
Well, I also know no man, probably in a completely different way. But I think that I could share part of the secret of the world, which is worth far more if you imagine that no man is killing for that secret. So how better to get in contact with no man than to actually know the secret that she needs?
That's also a good point.
That is a good point.
I happen to be, Drillium says, on my way to discover information that might be useful, that I thought maybe the gnomes would have. Is that secret perhaps about something very important that's going to happen, that's going to affect the entire world in the future?
Is that a question for me?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, it is a question that is of the highest importance for the future of the gnomes. It has an immense impact on every other race in the world and every other future race as well. But for the gnomes, the impact will be absolutely massive.
Okay.
Interesting.
So, cooperate with the blonde guy and get some gold, or cooperate with the gnome and get important information that might be related to what I'm looking for.
But
I mean, personally, I prefer information because I'm not in dire need for gold. We don't have much on us, but if I ever really require anything, my family, of course, can help me.
it's all right for some, isn't it?
I vote for information.
Well, I want to know about this, because you don't want to go back to no man. You don't want no man to know your secret, but you're willing to give part of it to no man.
Well, I am on this boat going to no man's land to make sure that the secret doesn't stay a secret.
Oh, right. Okay.
So if you're going to tell it to everyone anyway, what are you offering us so that we don't?
Well, I'm absolutely sure that no man wants to make sure the secret doesn't get out. So I think that this could be my death, and then the secret would never be known, would never get out in the world. And I'm offering you a chance to be part of the new revolution.
I think
Change that ripples through the time, the change that makes sure that the future of the gnomes is set.
I think I don't want this nice gentleman to die. I think that's where I am on this. And regardless of money that this other person is offering, I think I'm siding with Trietto.
Right. So two of you already. Triss, what do you have to say about this?
So Triss is still really hurt and feeling a little shaky around Trieto, but morally, they really don't like the fact, that to an extent they were right. It doesn't give them any vindication, but they were right that the other person in the room was clearly up to no good, and they would side with Trieto anyway, but they're quite shy about it. I think they would just sort of like stick closer to Drillian, but they side with Trieto.
Mm-hmm. All right. Do you say it? Do you say it out loud so that you add your voice to the conversation? Yeah. All right.
He was trying to steal. It's not okay.
Okay, so
That's true.
Drillium says, I guess it's unanimous then. We're siding with Trieto, and we're getting rid of the tall guy. Anyone wants to help me do that?
Well, when you say get rid of, you do just mean like put him on the shore so that he doesn't carry on the boat, right?
Or we could just lock him in this room until we're ready to get off.
How long did they say we had? A few days on the road, right? On the river.
I think so.
Well, I mean, if we leave him first thing in the morning, or if we get the chance to do it, if the captain's going to let us do it, first thing in the morning to leave him on the shore, he's not going to be able to get it to no man's land before us.
I agree with that.
All right, so we can leave him there, tie him up a little bit, make it hard for him to break free, and just get to no man's land a few days ahead of him. Okay.
Okay, we'll get some rope. Do I have rope? Must have rope. Someone has rope. We're a party of adventurers.
Yeah.
Don't tell me Dirt had all the rope.
Dirt had the rope.
I have
Dirt
meat.
had, Dirt had all the rope, you guys.
All right.
So I turned to Trieto. Do you have any rope? I've got glue.
I mean,
but-
we're on a boat.
Yeah, there's rope on a
probably
boat.
rope on the boat.
There's rope on a boat.
Yeah.
But also,
okay.
I wonder, Gretel, I wonder if Gretel could make like a bubble that would go over the lock, so like he wouldn't.
Yeah, that was very much like after if there's a lock or a knot, I would tie like a glue bubble over the top of it, so
Nice. Cool.
just to make it extra secure.
So that's going to be the plan for the morning. I would like to keep playing this conversation at night. If you want to keep talking with Trieto.
Oh yeah, for sure.
Yeah.
Well, Trieto needs to find a new room now, right?
Well, there should
Nobody
be a
else.
spare bed in Atlas's room.
Yeah.
Okay, so you lock even here, and then you go talk in Aklis and.
Atlas's room, yeah.
Yeah. Okay. Cool.
Before I leave the room, you can see me and my big book closing the book, crawling back in the trench coat underneath, and then you see like weird movement under the trench coat, and then 2 arms come out, a head comes out, and 2 feet are back visible. Then you see us trying to stand up again, and then
To clarify, does the head look the same as the head that came out with the book?
no.
Okay, it's a really different looking head.
That's a different head.
Gretel, has Gretel figured anything out at this point? Because it just looks kind of freaky.
Have you?
But I
figured-
imagine at that point it's enough to know that there's a minimum of 2 things inside that trench coat.
All right.
Is there?
And
If-
considering that Triss said there were 3 Snorins and Gretel's not particularly dumb, I imagine I figured out
If you figured it out, then you figured it out.
3 purple shorter beings in a trench coat.
All right.
You tell us this?
Yeah, sure. That's 3 gnomes in a trench coat.
Oh, Grubble, that's really none of our business. What's under their clothes?
There are no men in a trench coat. Nice.
Do you say that out loud so that I can hear it as well?
Yeah.
Okay, I come really close to you. I grab your face with my tiny hands and I say, "How did you figure out my secret? How did you figure out our secret? I was so careful about it, and nobody has ever caught my well-hidden secret."
Well, if you really want to know, it was a combination of clues. First, I saw you wobbling when you were walking earlier, and then later, Triss mentioned a symphony of 3 snores. Then, in the middle of the battlefield, one of you popped out and was much shorter, and you popped through the trench coat. And finally, the pièce de la résistance. That's me speaking another language I don't know very well. You're the face of the one that came out of the trench coat is not the face that I'm talking to right now, Mr. Trieto. Therefore, I have deduced 3 gnomes in a trench coat. Thank you very much.
And
I take a little bow.
I opened the trench coat very ever so slowly. I opened the trench coat and I open it, and you can see 3 purple gnomes stacked one upon each other, just like really wobbly. The gnomes are different shades of purple, but they have a really they're like little baby children as well. They're little. They have baby face features and such. And then starting at the top, we are 3 brothers. Together we are 3 To'odin. I'm Musor. Then the middle one says, hello, I'm Drata. And then the one at the bottom says, hello, Gribok.
Long-suffering Gribok on the bottom carrying everyone.
And then he closes the trench coat again.
Okay. Drillium taps you on the shoulder, Grubble, and says, "Good catch, good catch, very nicely done."
Thank you.
Oh, Drillium.
I would never.
Well, I'm a smart one.
Yeah, you are. You are. All right, let's get going.
Okay.
I'm
gonna find out if the Twitch chat figured it out.
You're Trito, you have an object back in the room that you need to remember to take with you. The jar, the antidote jar.
But the jar is already back in my trench coat.
Already put it back.
Yeah.
That's true. Never mind.
Oh, I also wanna before we go to the other room, I wanna put some kind of rag in Avon's mouth so that he can't call for help or anything like that.
All right. So he's tied up. Let's say that right now he's tied up in the bed sheets in a way that doesn't allow him to move very well. And then
I had a rope.
You have
Nice.
An abnormal ivy vine.
An ivy vine all the way back from the garden or something, right?
Probably.
Yeah. Geez. All right. I've had that a very long time, and now it's finally useful. You use it to tie him up, and then you put a pillowcase in his mouth so that he cannot talk. He's going to be there until the morning when you leave him behind on the shore.
Do you want Triss to stay with him and watch and keep and basically make sure he doesn't go away?
It's your choice whether to do it or not. If you're there, you're not going to be part of the conversation that's going to happen.
But that's Atlas, Grubble.
Yes.
Should I give you all privacy with Trieto? I can stay here and make sure he doesn't escape.
I mean, if you prefer, but I don't think there's really much of a need for that.
I can come back to
I bubble locked the rope. I reckon you can come with us and learn what we learn.
Whatever you prefer, Triss. It's
And
your
maybe
choice.
after we're done talking, you can go back and go and watch.
Okay.
He's not getting out in the next hour, that's for sure.
I feel like Inamar's like, challenge accepted.
Did Grebel bumble it?
What's the decision, Triss?
Triss goes with the group.
All right.
And on Atlas's shoulder.
Cool. So.
Oh, Grebel, I had a question.
Yeah?
Earlier, you said something like Pierre Residence.
Oh, right.
And it didn't sound like Shorb.
No, it's not at
I
all.
was wondering what kind of language that was, because I'm unfamiliar with it.
Well, it could be Acad-English, it could be Minimin, or it could be a language that So this is Matthew talking at this point because I haven't decided. Because I speak Minimin, which we haven't used, I don't think. I speak Acad-English, but I think that's That's different. We decided on Acad English. So it's either Minimin or it's something that I've just picked up from a book.
I mean,
I'm going to say I've picked it up from a book, and it's called Ench.
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 All right.
Ench.
Ench. Interesting language. Do you know where they speak it?
Well, I only read about it in a book. And it seems to be this incredibly pretentious place.
But
Where
quite
everyone-
enchanting.
Enchanting, yeah. It's you know how Ing is a very pretentious place. Also,
I've heard, yes.
it's the neighboring kingdom that they're always fighting with.
Oh.
And specifically, it's a forest. It's known as the enchanted forest. But they're fighting over who actually has the right for the trees.
Right.
They're walking trees.
Thank you for educating me.
Enched.
So fascinating.
The trees are called the Enchts.
The H is silent,
Okay.
so it's just H''ENCH, and they're the trees that walk. Yeah.
Okay.
The ench.
And the thing is there's lots of wenches and enchmen in Ench.
And ench women as well, because as you know, the trees can be both genders or no genders.
Have you ever been there, Grabble?
No, I barely even know anything about it. I just know that people speak this language there.
And Twitch is correct. The national dish is the enchilada.
Ah! Which you win again.
oh god, amazing. All right.
And their favorite dance move is the enchworm.
I gotta write all this down. Oh my god.
So wait, just to
National
clarify, the Ench
dish.
are trees that fight the people of Ing.
Yes.
Yes.
Gotcha. Good. And they both want to own the forest. Great.
Yeah,
Yeah.
and it's they're called H''ENCH.
So wait.
And they're the Ench men and women are the army of Ench.
Ench. All right. So,
it's like hench.
is
but
the
without
enchanted
with the
forest
silent
also
H.
spelled the same way? The enchanted forest?
Forest.
H''. Yeah.
Everything's H apostrophe.
Except enchilada, because
Sure.
we have to.
That would be stupid.
yeah.
Yeah, that'd be
Sorry.
silly.
What was I thinking? All right.
And if you they call their highest ranked nobles engineers.
Engineers.
Nobles are engineers?
Yep. Engineers.
Engineers.
Sure. That's brilliant. All right. We got all that written down. It barely fits.
Well,
Can't wait to get there.
It's just got twice more exciting, this whole area of the world. So would it be there? And the interesting thing is that you've never met any English, but you've met some Ench people already, and even traveled with one of them for a while.
They speak with a bit of a French accent.
oh, they did.
Yes,
I
they
didn't even
do.
make the
That's how you see.
Yes.
That's why they're walking trees.
Of course.
I wasn't even in those episodes, and I remember.
That's true. They even appear.
Oh man, well now we need to get that person back.
Oh god. All right. That was brilliant. That's I mean, that's part of the show, Vincent. That's what we do. I didn't tell you that in advance, but that happens.
The
I didn't
world
warn you.
building is punny and grand.
All of this is now true, and I'm one day gonna grapple with making this make sense. That's part of my role.
Wait, are you saying it doesn't make sense? Because I think it makes a lot.
Are you
of sense.
saying the world we currently know makes sense?
Good point.
Can you remind everyone how we came up with the name EMAG?
Good point. Touche, which is also a word in Ench.
It is.
It is. And that's actually why they keep fighting, like why there's always fighting as well with Ing, because there's things like Gnome de Plume, where like no man's land keeps claiming that there are words in the Ench language that are actually Gnomish.
Gnome Anne sends warriors to join in.
No
The
man.
gnome de guerre.
That's the gnome again. Yeah. Okay.
Yeah. And they're followed by the Gnomes de Plume, who are all of the reporters.
For those.
I don't even know how to start writing all that, so I'm
We
just gonna do
already
it.
did gnome puns last episode.
We did.
I
Let's
know.
move
No
forward.
more puns.
All right, that's it. Too many pun chains for one episode. I want to thank you very much for doing that.
Oh, if anything.
It's definitely going to be written down in the journal for the game later on. But for now, I think we're at the end of this episode, and we will begin the next one with a private conversation between Triato, the three of you, and Drillium in a private room, still in the middle of the night. So thank you very much, everyone, for joining in. Thank you, everyone who watched us live. Thank you for everyone who's watching us in YouTube. I want to say, give a special thanks to Vincent for being here. Today was awesome, and next week we're gonna have another chance to roleplay with this brilliant character, which I love. I want to say thank you to the people who followed us, our new followers for the past week. Doronir, who also subscribed, thank you very much. Improv Generator followed us, and a mysterious person named Vincent VN1 just today. So thank you, whoever you are. Whoever
Very
you are.
shocking.
Yes.
Sounds like an asshole.
Yeah. That's it for tonight. Next week, as always, 9 p.m. my time here in the Middle East, 8 in most of Europe, 7 in the UK, and 2 Eastern time.
And 11 a.m. for the few people from Calgary.
From 11 a.m. specifically in Calgary. We're gonna
Love
have
our Calgary audience.
episode.
We actually, they're not as few and far between as you think. Oh, and of course, GMT. Thank you for our Northern Irish visitors today.
Right. That's true too. We're gonna need to divide them into segments and then give all the hours, right? And maybe we'll have clocks, like in
But
offices.
clocks only for the people that watch our show. 'Cause
Exactly,
no other
only
time
from
zones
countries where
exist.
we know we have viewers. So thank you, all of you, all people from all time zones and all the children of the world. You are the future, and we love you.
And I look forward to the Grebel Drillium fan.
On Saturdays, same
Oh, God,
hour, we
please.
have Terran's Adventures here. You can come in and play the character yourself while I'm GMing the game for you live. And that is it. Good night, everyone. And until the next time we meet, play hard and stay safe. We'll see you.
Dreams.